Hello everyone and welcome back to English and Beyond. I'm CJ Roy and in today's class we are going to learn about continue learning about past perfect continuous tense, but then today we are specifically learning how to frame questions in the past perfect continuous tense. So without wasting any time, let's straight away dive into our topic today. Past perfect continuous, how to make affirmative questions. So the affirmative statement in the past perfect in the last video we saw was I had been writing a letter since 6 o'clock that morning. Now becomes as usual had I been. I had been become I had becomes had I been. Had I been writing a letter since 6 o'clock that morning? Similarly, you. You had been writing a letter. That will change into you had. Had you been writing a letter? Had you been writing a letter since 6 o'clock that morning? That's the question. Now coming to third person singulars. He had been writing, she had been writing, it had been writing. Now changes into he had been, he had. Had he been writing? Had she been writing? Had it been writing? Okay, that's simple. You know now how it is working out here. Yes. And the next one, first person plural. We had been writing a letter. How we will change now? We had we been writing a letter, and then they, third person plural, they had been writing a letter. Had they been writing a letter? Had they been writing a letter since 6 o'clock that morning? This is how we ask questions. So the structure is the same, the format is the same, the rule is the same. Auxiliary verb you must put first and then subject. Let me remind you once again, my dear students here, that if you wish to add, if you are looking for some information, then please place the question word, the what type word, like how, when, which, where, why, what, who, or these words. For example, if I say, had you been writing a letter since 6 o'clock? Why had you been writing a letter since 6 o'clock? Just add that. It will be a question, a what type question we call, which will be seeking an information. If all these questions that I am giving, where you place the first auxiliary first, then subject, they are all yes, no type question, because its answer is always going to be either yes or no. So had I been writing a letter? Had you been writing a letter? Had he, she, it been writing a letter? Had we been writing a letter? Had they been writing a letter? So this is how we make affirmative questions. Now let's see how we frame negative questions. How negative statements we will convert into negative questions. Negative questions. I had not been writing. I had not been writing becomes had I not been writing. Had I not been writing a letter since 6 o'clock that morning? Or else had plus not, we can contract that and put it hadn't. So it will be hadn't I been writing? Don't say hadn't I not been writing, which is wrong again, because not is already there with had in that hadn't word, right? So had I not been writing? Hadn't I been writing? Similarly, second person you, whenever you use the subject you, it will be you had not been writing. That was a statement. Now you had becomes had you not been writing? Hadn't you been writing? The format is the same as we learned in our previous videos about other tenses. Next, he, she, it. There is no change, same thing. Had he not been writing? Had she not been writing? Had it not been writing? Because these are negative questions. And if you are contracting that one, it becomes hadn't he been writing? Hadn't she been writing? Hadn't it been writing? You could ask both ways, either way, which you like. In conversational style, we normally use the contracted form. That sounds better, easy. And then the first person plural, we had not been writing reports. We had not been writing. Had we not been writing report? Hadn't we been writing report? Hadn't we been writing report? Okay, all right. Now, third person, that is plural. They had not been writing reports in 6 o'clock that morning. They had not been writing. So it becomes had they not been writing? Why had they not been writing? If you want to put that why, right? Or else hadn't they been writing? Simple enough. I hope it is very clear now how these things are, falling into place here. Now you know so much now about how verbs keep changing in different tenses. This is what we are actually learning in this whole tense series here. One more thing that I would like to, in this particular tense and the coming tense, future perfect continuous, and some of these tenses, we may not use much of questions. We may not ask questions very often. It's rarely used here. But present perfect continuous tense is often used one. Past perfect continuous is also used. But their questions are like particularly past perfect continuous tense questions are not asked so much every time. But you will know once you understand these tenses, and then when you start practicing, applying it in your life, when you read things, you will understand that these things that some tenses we do not always use. Why am I teaching you this one? So that you will know what's what exactly tenses, all the tenses, how they are, sentences are constructed in the affirmative and negative, both statements and questions. That's my idea, and I believe that you understand this and you are learning it well. Well, then that brings us to the end of today's lesson. And if you enjoyed this session and if you found it helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel English and Beyond. And don't forget to tap the bell icon so you will never miss the upcoming video. Until we meet again in the next video, keep learning, keep practicing, keep growing with English and Beyond. Until then, it's goodbye from me. Thank you for watching.